President Donald Trump finally has a point person for rural issues after the Senate approved Sonny Perdue to lead the Department of Agriculture by a vote of 87-11 Monday evening. The former two-term GOP governor of Georgia was met with little opposition from lawmakers during his delay-filled confirmation process. But the 11 votes cast against him, 10 by Democrats and 1 from an independent, mark the first time since the Reagan administration that a state chief has not been unanimously approved. The late Richard Ling had a pair of votes cast against his nomination in 1986. More senators voted no than expected. Kirsten Gillibrand, NY, was a nay. She stood alone in opposing Perdue when he cleared the Agriculture Committee last month. This time around, Gillibrand was joined in opposition by Bernie Sanders, the Vermont Independent, and Democrats Richard Blumenthal, Con, Cory Booker, NJ, Kamala Harris, Calif, Ed Markey, Mass, Robert Menendez, NJ, Jack Reed, RI, Ron Wyden, or Elizabeth Warren, Mass, and Sheldon Whitehouse, RI. They defended their votes by citing concerns that ranged from Perdue's approach to food stamps to trade with Cuba to GMO labeling, and a perceived coziness with agribusiness. I'm just happy we got this big vote of confidence, Agriculture Chairman Pat Roberts, Arkan, told reporters following the vote. Now, we've got to get a trade policy that makes sense. I'm very happy with this vote, Roberts added. He's a good man. Perdue's cousin, David Perdue, RGA, voted present, and Jeff Flake, RS, did not vote. Perdue, who has a master's degree in veterinary medicine and owns several small agribusinesses, will take the reins at ASTA amid a time of hardship and economic turmoil in rural America. Crop prices are at record lows, fueling a persistent slump in farm income that has given many farmers grave concerns over their long-term livelihood. As farmers see it, it is not a moment too soon for rural America to get its representative in the Trump cabinet. Many in ag land were frustrated by the White House's weeks-long delay in sending Perdue's nomination and paperwork to the Senate Agriculture Committee. Former President Barack Obama had planned to ease some of the pain for farmers and ranchers by expanding trade in the Asia-Pacific through the One-Two Nation TPP. But Trump scrapped that deal during his first week in office. His preferred approach is to strike bilateral deals. But it leads to be seen how successful that strategy will be in opening new export markets for agriculture. Trump and Perdue are set to meet with farmers at the White House on Tuesday for a roundtable discussion on rural issues that will coincide with the president signing an economic order aimed at spurring economic growth in rural America. But, once again, farmers are left to play the waiting game. The order will create an interagency task force to study the situation and come up with legislative and regulatory plans for revving up the rural economy. Perdue had widespread support from agricultural groups from the start. Those groups, which had grown impatient over the slow-go confirmation process, will be watching closely in the next few weeks as the president rolls out his full budget plan and infrastructure proposal, both of which are expected in May. Trump's budget outline, released in March, proposed cutting ASTA's discretionary spending by 21% and called for elimination of rural water and wastewater infrastructure grants while hinting at broader cuts to rural and farm programs. For months, ASTA has not had a voice in this administration and, frankly, It shows. Debbie Stabino, ranking member of the Agriculture Committee, said in a floor speech backing Perdue before the vote. President Trump's budget proposal makes it clear that rural America is not a priority for his administration. Blumenthal, a Connecticut liberal, said he voted no over concerns that Perdue won't stand up for consumers. I'm very concerned about his hostility to consumer protections, to GMO labeling, to protections for consumers against big agri corporations, Blumenthal said after the vote. As a consumer advocate, I have no faith he will be on their side.